I want to talk about the impact of free market capitalism, if I'm hopefully using that term correctly, on freedom of thought, which sounds so weird, but I see this happening in the political sphere a lot. Um, and there are, news companies, main two news companies, CNN, Fox News, right? And they're both always at war with each other. One's left wing, one's right wing. And recently, we've seen a lot of people and anchors from these shows, or just anchors from the political sides, start to create their own independent platforms. And because of that, they would have, more freedom of thought. You start to see someone like Tucker Carlson or Hasanabi saying things that these two big conglomerates, Fox News and CNN, would not normally say, because they don't have donors to rely on. They have a market-funded situation. Tucker Carlson has a show on X. Hassan Abi has a Twitch stream where literally we fund it. The common people fund it through Twitch subscribers and viewers. And because of that, he's able to say much more or much different things than, Fox News and CNN. And I'm not referring to any specific topic. This is just about the main concept of what that brings. Because you also see some people who have started grifting. And I don't know if you don't know what grifting is. Basically, it's, hey, I know that saying this, this, and this will get me this audience, and therefore I'm going to continue to say this, this, and this. A great example is there's this rapper named Tom MacDonald, and Tom MacDonald is a right-wing rapper. Again, nothing against any political side here, but this guy is very clearly grifting. And basically what he does is he'll release music that's very right-wing, and he will deem it anti-establishment, because the establishment he has created is the left wing. And because he is against this big left-wing CNN establishment, he is automatically anti-establishment. And because of that, the moral jump that he's making here is he's not including the fact that just because you're against something else, just because you're against a party or a group of people that could have given you financial benefit and financial success. You're like, oh, I could have taken and could have been a liberal, but I wanted to stand up for what's right. You're negating the fact that you're also part of a different conglomerate and making money off a different set of ideas. So basically what I'm trying to say here is Tom MacDonald is, I don't have a problem with anyone because of a political opinion. Personally, I'm very, pro individuality, LGBTQ. But as far as political sides, I don't have much of a problem what your political sides are. Tom, though, he is grifting. He is doing what he's doing because conveniently he has created an audience that way. He knows that if he keeps spewing the same talking points, that he's going to keep getting the same viewers, the same listeners, the same encouragement, and make money on this side. And the little trick that he does is he, again, keeps positioning himself as, hey, I'm not on side A, and I'm not taking any money from side A. I'm not against the establishment of side A. So I must be a representation of free and individual thought. But the fallacy there is I'm dick-sucking side B. And it's the same thing if the sides were flipped. There are now, because of free market capitalism, at least social media, there's not a establishment. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of mini establishments. So there's the America First movement. There's the right-wing movement. There's the left-wing movement. There's the radical left. These are all establishments that you can grift for, and you can get money for each establishment. And every single day, one minor niche establishment. Latinos for Trump. Latinos against Trump. Every day, a minor niche establishment, a niche identity gets created or strengthened. and there's another way to grift. So what's happening now is people are disagreeing with the establishment. However, they're fooling their audiences because their audiences assume that they represent freedom of thought. This guy doesn't like this fake, inauthentic thing, whatever it ends up being. So I'm going to assume he is not fake and inauthentic. But what if he is a part of a fake and inauthentic other group? Because there are, I just hit my funny bone. There are hundreds of these. So what this creates is you don't know who actually means and believes what they say and who is doing it for a bag. Because there's a bag to be made in a million different groups. But the only group that doesn't make that bag easy is individual thought. I think when you have individual thought, you're eventually going to go against the group that catered you. And a lot of people have had that moment, dude, where they've created something, they've grown with an audience, and then they've done something their audience rejects because their growth of their individual perspectives and mindset conflicted with the branding of their character. And I think the strength to be able to do something like that, the strength to be able to release something and put out something that doesn't immediately give your audience the sugar they always craved for and wanted, is the true and maybe only representation of individual thought. Because before, when there was only one establishment to fight against, when social media didn't exist, there was just one establishment, regardless of political side. And if you were against the establishment, you didn't have any reason to be against the establishment. There was no benefit to be against the establishment. So whoever was against the establishment was very genuine in what they were doing. But now, the establishment is compartmentalized into a million different establishments. And it's not because anyone's evil or anything like that, but it's just because what capitalism does through social media is it creates value in as many ways as it can. And the truth is, anti-establishment rhetoric is valuable. It's valuable to people. It's been valuable to people. Martin Luther King, it's been valuable to people to speak against the establishment. That is something people appreciate and like. But when something people appreciate and like gets integrated within the social media context, it becomes monetizable. And when it becomes monetizable, guess what? Someone's going to come in and jump in for the bag. Someone who didn't make Hollywood but still an actor, he's going to act like an activist. And when he does that, it doesn't matter what side he does. He's going to choose a side and he's going to act. And now you don't know who is the establishment and who is against the establishment. Because people are getting fooled left, right, and center. It's kind of the fear of everybody, bro. We have to prioritize our individuality above, anything. I think, at least in this world, to stay genuine. I have a piece of hair here. To stay genuine. Because now it's smoke and mirrors everywhere. Everyone's doing whatever they can to get the next bag. And they're looking noble while doing it too. So I think the people are the main pawns now. And I don't think anyone evil is behind this, so I'm not trying to blame anyone, but it's the system to when you give somebody candy for being a good person, are they going to be a good person to be a good person, or are they going to be a good person to get candy? Because there's going to be people of both. And now you don't know I don't know what's real good anymore. But good people should be rewarded, right? So then you give them candy, and now some people just want the candy, so they're going to be a good person to get the candy. Is that a good thing? That is another discussion. But that is what this creates. So be wary when you look at these people. I'm not saying they're evil people, but be wary about the ideas that they preach. And really question, do these guys really believe in these ideas, or are they just trying to make money? Because I'm telling you, Tom McDonald's just trying to make money, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, Charlie Kirk died. The guy put out a song the day he died, bro. And I know he said some shit about, it's not going to work, or I'm not making any money off it. You know what you're doing, bro. He died the same day. regardless of what you think about Charlie or anything, a guy dies, and this guy makes a song to bring attention to his name the same time he dies. And that song, I think, is number 1 on his Spotify right now. Now, does that look like a genuine expression of sadness? Or does that look like a move to connect closer with the base that already agrees with you? A move to strengthen your echo chamber and your brand? Because to me, it looks like the latter. But I know this isn't about Tom McDonald, but hey, I wanted to just talk about it.